Hello everyone, friends. We are on the Broker Quotex trading platform, and today I'll show you how I make money on binary options using a clean chart with support and resistance levels. So let's take a look at what's happening on the market. Basically, I think we can even open a trade already. Euro Swiss franc, I'll open a trade for an increase. We identify support and resistance zones, that is, areas from which the price will bounce off. In this case, this is our entry point. We opened a trade for an increase. You can see that the price is reversing at the same zone. And we can use this zone as a price reversal point, depending on where the price came from. In this case, it dropped from top to bottom. Accordingly, I open a trade for an increase. Euro Australian dollar will also be opened for an increase. We have a support zone. You can see that the price often bounced off this zone. And accordingly, somewhere here we can open a trade for an increase. Dollar, yen. We also open a trade for an increase. Our zone. There are of course false breakouts, but if the price returns to the zone after that, then most likely it was just a false price movement, an unexpected fluctuation that, for some reason, broke through this zone for a while. But the zone hasn't ceased to exist. It remains strong. So let's see what's happening with other assets. This is a 3-minute chart, in case anyone didn't notice. We can try to open a trade on the Australian dollar. The trade is between two support and resistance zones, but here the sideways channel is quite narrow. Yeah, maybe I rushed a bit. Well, anyway, I opened the trade. I should have opened from the upper zone. Rushed a bit. Alright, I've already opened the trade. It seemed like the price was in the zone. Well, it's probably too late to open here, but let's see. Although, judging by the wicks, yeah, maybe I can open a trade. Here too, we have a sideways channel, and the upper boundary of this channel coincides with our entry zone. And I opened a trade for a decrease. Alright, we have 5 trades open, that's enough for now. Let's see how these trades are performing. Euro Swiss franc is confidently in profit so far. This is a 5-second chart. Australian dollar, also in profit for now. Australian Swiss franc is in profit. Euro. The Australian dollar is also moving confidently in the right direction. And the dollar yen is also moving well upward toward our open trade. Trading is quite simple if you understand how the market works and how price moves. You'll find links to educational materials in the description. You can read articles on how to find all this and how it works. And I think it will definitely be useful, especially if you're just starting to get acquainted with the market. But the main rule is managing your balance. In other words, you shouldn't double up. You should trade only with a fixed bet amount. Even if you have a losing trading session, at least you won't lose much. But if you keep doubling up, trading using the martingale strategy, you'll most likely lose everything on your very first unsuccessful attempt. So, our trades will start closing soon, 25 seconds until the current trade closes. Then what do we have? The Euro Australian dollar trade will close. Well, yes, so far everything is going great here. The price started to fall, but I wanted to say, I hope the price doesn't break through the entry point. And it went ahead and broke through. Well, that can happen too. No one is immune to that, but the price returned to the entry point. Alright, 1 second. Still a profit. The trade managed to close, but just barely. It was really close. Our next trade is the Euro Australian dollar. So is the same thing happening here? No, here we have a decline. Everything is fine here. And in general, all the other trades are more or less okay for now. The Australian dollar is jumping around. I hope nothing happens to it. The Euro Australian dollar is going up. Everything is good. Here, it's probably going to fall, right? No, it won't. Not yet. 4 seconds. That was a confident entry. We entered at the very bottom and caught the whole movement. On the dollar-yen pair as well, if you look at the trade, we entered at the very bottom and the price only went up for us. In other words, we identified the entry point just perfectly. It doesn't always work out like that. Sometimes the price goes lower, meaning into the loss zone, but in this case, everything went well for us. And the third trade has already closed in profit. We have the Australian dollar now. There's still a minute left, which is quite a lot, and on average the Saski front is still in profit, showing a more confident gain. But here, honestly, it's not entirely clear. A few points of difference. If you look at the price, that's not much, of course. Even 1 point is enough for us, but the problem here is that a single small movement can change the outcome of a particular trade. That's not very good for us. When the price moves in one direction, it becomes clearer afterwards. Like here, for example. Here, it's more likely that the price will stay in the profit zone. On the other hand, here we have 20 seconds left and the price isn't moving. Apparently, there's some strong resistance level for the price here. Large volumes are being traded, but the price isn't going anywhere. Unfortunately, we can't see the volumes on the broker's platform, but all of this indicates that there are large volumes in the market there. Someone is selling at this level and the price hasn't even gone higher. Our fourth trade closed in profit, and now we have the Australian dollar, Swiss franc left. Everything is going well here so far too. 35 seconds until closing. The price is in profit. This is the fifth trade out of 5 opened, but I think the result will be very good. So we went through the market and, in my opinion, found all possible entry points. We opened trades everywhere we could, and in the end, well, basically you saw everything. It turned out to be a pretty simple trading session. Well, simple for me. For you, I don't know. But if something turned out to be difficult for you, as I said, you'll find links to educational materials in the description. Everything is free, just go and read. Everything is openly available, and of course everything is structured. That's all from me, friends. Thank you all very much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and leave your comments. Good luck with your trading, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.